want to show you a slide in here. You can see the number one cause of death in US is heart disease, which is 50% of our death. We are sitting here, half of our brothers and sisters will die, and it might be more than half very soon, the way progressing, with heart disease or stroke, which is 1 million people die every year with a heart attack or a stroke. And half of this 1 million, about 5 to 600,000 people die without any syndrome, all of a sudden heart attack. And I personally witnessed in Houston, my neighbors, my community brothers and friends, my colleague, I was a chemistry professor at University of Houston back then, my colleague who is in physics, and he also had massive heart attack, and surgery after surgery, he had to die. And other half of the people who die every year is not going to be normal death. As you see, they will die either cancer or any other disease related to diabetes, autoimmune disease, liver issue, and other problems. And we all always worry about the road accident because every year 33,000 people die with a road accident. We also look at the bigger data, bigger number of people die with this disease, which is coming from the food. And I'm glad and I got opportunity to talk about the food, which is the very concern to too many people, which was not concerned before. Before, food was pure. It came from the straight from the right soil, right fertilizer, straight from the farm. Now all food coming from the fried, dry, packaged and processed and dyed and harmonized, steroid added. So as you see that we have a disease and we are glad, and we are at a time when you have a solution, which is amazing. Medical research is so much improved that we can get a pill for every disease. And we have a highest technologically designed machines and diagnoses and doctors and nurses, and especially Muslim community, we prefer our kids to go to the doctor, to go to healthcare, which is amazing, which is we want to serve. Because giving out the sunnah, serving people is the best thing. Prophet said that we're the best person who are being benefited to others. Of course you want to be. But imagine what's happening. When you're taking a pill, you feel better, blood pressure is controlled, sugar is balanced, heart has no more pain. But a lot of time, it's temporary. It's like a bandaging. It's like a not solving problem permanently. Erotic medicine for whole life. And disease is not getting better. It's getting worse. More disease comes up and more disease gonna bring more research, more pill. And you saw in few years 802 new drugs came up. Because disease came, more side effect, more disease, we need new drug, which is amazing. We need that. But what we are missing is the food part. That needs to be more prescribed, and that is really not prescribed. A lot of people don't even change their food at all. They're just focusing only on the pill, the medicine. Of course, we need that. But food should not be ignored, because food changes the body inner function. Food changes the body circulation. More nutritious body, better you feel. You can quickly heal your body. If you look at our religion, what Quran says, Quran mentioned about the food name specifically, nasiha, fumiha, basaliha. Allah mentioned by each name, all the squash and roshu, and then garlic and onion, and then cucumber, drinking water, drinking milk, taking fish from the ocean. Allah said, I created the ocean for you. Enjoy fish from there, enjoy animals from there. So everything is guided. We know what Prophet used to eat. If we look at his sunnah and we look at what he used to eat, we don't need that many pills. I'm not saying that pill should not exist. Yes, we needed pill. More pill is going to come, which we need. And we are privileged being citizen of the United States that we had the opportunity. But we don't have to go through so many pills if we can fix our inner system. If we bring our body into homeostasis level, big, healthy, functioning body. And so today's discussion, inshallah, I'll be talking about these few things. What is the things our body needs and why we get sick? First, we need to understand what our body needs. If we look at our body, the whole body of brother sitting in front of me, his body made of suppose 10 trillion body cells. That body cells are made of small nutrient, protein, fat and mineral. And that protein amino acid structure making the cell foundation, cell main backbone, and then mineral and fat complete the cell. And that cell come together, make a tissue make a organ system, and that's how me and you all, everyone. And this body constantly being regenerated. I've been talking last 10 minutes in here, or maybe this 10 minutes I almost lost maybe 50,000 of my body cells. They died. And good thing is same amount of cell developed. And you guys know that we are going to stressful situation. We definitely did not do well. Everybody is stressed to fixing the things. And depending on how we did, what food we ate today, depending on how our stress level was, that's how this 50,000 cell developed. A healthy cell or unhealthy cell, inflammatory cell, defective cell or healthy cell. Which means that every year our human body completely change. It's changing. Some organ change very quickly. Like eye, in 3 days you get a brand new eyes. Like liver, you get a 6 weeks, we get a brand new liver. Whole body, like a bone and brain, takes like almost 6 to 8 months to get the new organ. That's how every organ system change. And within a year, if you invite me next year, Belly Ranch again, I'll come here with the new Dr. Haque. I have no old cell exist. I'm gonna be 10 trillion new cell Dr. Haque. So depending on how my next year will be, maybe I'll lose some weight, maybe I will get some gray beard, maybe I'll be getting more weight. Depending on how my next 1 year will be, I'll be regenerated, completely new person, all of you. So it's in our hand. What are you in our form? What are you putting in the body? That's how our body will be day by day. If you are sick, no problem. Then put the right things, and then body will be coming out as a healthy body. So first thing we need to understand the body made of small cell made of small nutrient. So put the right nutrient, the right cell will develop. Second thing is, according to nature, it's a top journal that human body has a 10 times more bacterial cell than our own cell, which we call gut flora or gut microbiome. How the gut flora is functioning, that's how our body will be functioning. If we put healthy food for the gut flora, healthy flora will develop. If you put wrong food, gut flora will die. Because when we eat, they eat too. They die, our body physiology doesn't work. Because they contribute our metabolism, our mineral absorption, vitamin production from the food. They do everything in our system. It's like our soldiers, and that's more than our own body cell. That, what cartoon says, it's like we have more bacterial cell than our own body cell. And third thing you need to understand is body digestion system. When you eat, body need to digest the food, send back to our intestine absorb the nutrient, give it to liver circulate throughout the body, and waste go to the back door as a feces. So if we do wrong food, it will not be able to digest, because we have Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala given the system, human body, with a proper mechanism, proper digestive organs, who secretes the enzyme and juices and acids to process the food. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala given us the system only to process the food, not the plastic. Because plastic is not a food. Like that, imagine what we are eating. If you don't eat food, body will not able to digest. It's gonna make inflammation, not only stomach. It's gonna make your liver fat. It's gonna make our whole body inflamed. And depending on which part of the body is weaker over the other, that organ will develop a disease. And disease will be named with many. And depending on which organ are making the disease, we call liver disease, heart disease. If you have a pancreas issue, we call diabetes. If you have a brain issue, we call Alzheimer, dementia, so many diseases. And if we look at that, the mostly is important is our gut or intestine. Because if you eat wrong food, that gets a problem. That makes it bloated. And our gut flora, I see the 10 times more gut flora that we have. 90% of them live in the gut, in the intestine. And if you don't have right food, they will die, and our whole disease developed. Because Rasulullah said that the time will come, there will be a lot of disease. He said that, and the disease mostly will come from the gut, from the stomach. And that's what we see. Our National Health NIH declared that 75% of our disease coming from our food and our gut. So we have to take care of our digestive system, take care of the right food, our microbiome food, so that flora can survive and stay well. And we have to look at our especially intestine. So if we microbiome die, we develop our asthma, allergy, bloating, and all the research is coming up that how microbiome health is so important. And we mostly killing, I just want to show one thing. We have many things to talk. That's not the topic of our discussion today, but I want to mention one thing. Big mistake we do, antibiotic, not the pill. When you need antibiotic, you have to do that. That's not a big problem. Big problem is the cow and chicken and then goat and lamb put a large dose of antibiotic them to survive. Those antibiotic chemicals come through our meat and cheese and butter and ghee and milk and egg to us. That making all the gut flora depletion. And depletes the gut flora, our stomach cannot work. That everybody is struggling to lose weight. Everybody is struggling to survive their energy and brain function, because gut is the one main source of our brain. Gut is not, brain is not going to be good. Because 90% gut, our brain hormone developed from our gut. And that we are killing with this all conventional farm-raised meat, cheese, butter, ghee, and milk and eggs. Our 80% of our antibiotic production going to not hospital, not the doctors, going to our animals. Imagine how much antibiotic you're taking when you're putting a chicken thinking that it is very safe. So I have many research data I want to show you. But the good thing is, no matter how many problems you have, putting the right things, body is gonna go back to the right stage. But we are not doing that. Our standard American diet, which is called SAD, that's truly sad, because SAD diet, 63% is processed. So if I ask you, my dear brothers and sisters, please tell me, on our standard diet, what everyone eats, and a lot of people who are like my age, about 40, we know what food was 20 years ago. That's the food we saw 20 years ago. But when my son or young kids, they think this is the only food exists in this world. That's the food. So if I ask you, my brothers and sisters, tell me, do you think this is right food, or do you think any problem eating that food for a long time? What is the problem you think? Processed food and fried food. Any other problem, brother? Yeah, too much calories. Yes. A lot of salt. Yes. Yes. No plants are there. Yeah. Because plants you need to make your enzyme support and acid balance and digestion. So no plant is a big problem. We need a plant. Processed food used to eat plant for many days non-stop. It's mentioned in the hadith, and Allah said in the Quran many times, Jarra mukhtalifa, and then look at that, I make a cloud. Allah said in the Surah Naba, look at that, I make a cloud. Look at that, how the crops are growing, So wal-habbudul asfi wal-rayhan, Allah mentioned in the Quran many times, brother. The brother said that it's a processed food. It's too much processed. Our body was not given the digestive aid or enzyme to process the processed food. The food is processed, body cannot recognize. It makes it straight to the fat cell, gets some calorie. It cannot take any nutrient from there. Because it's burn and process, it doesn't stay the right structure of the nutrient, which is protein and fat and minerals. Fat gets burned, fat gets saturated, and then protein is like amino acid bond that gets breaks into defective protein, and minerals die away with the high temperature and processed. You see? So no nutrients there. The brother says only stay with a calorie. And second problem is it cannot digest, because our body doesn't have defective enzyme to process the defective food. So imagine our kids, especially, I feel very bad when I go to a party or for dinner. I feel so bad for the kids. They are given only the food. Oh, my son only eats the chicken fry and then wheat burger. They are not taught. They are not taught what is the food. Food should be lots of plants, lots of healthy fat, nuts and beans and healthy carb, and then good protein. But look at that, nothing exists in here. Only sugar, burned calorie, processed food, sugar added fat. Fat is not a bad, but that food must be processed, look like. So there is no nutrient exist, and people eating for a long time. Now imagine how we can expect the good health eating that food. And Allah said in the Quran many times, Surah Baqarah, Allah mentioned many places, Ulu halalan wa tayyiba. Ibn al-Qayyim explained, this tayyib means nutritious. So when you eat, this is our obligation. When you eat food, we are obligated to eat nutritious food. This is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ordered us. Has to be halal first, then nutritious. And if you don't eat nutritious, it's haram, or I don't know. I'm not a sheikh. So at least you can think that we should not eat that food. And it's not about the hypothesis, it's proven. Dr. Furman, he's a MD cardiologist, he proven with the data that the death rate is directly proportional to lowering the death rate, directly proportional to eating the processed food. You see the data curve, exactly proportional. That's what we need to first. We need to first clean our diet. This food should not be exist in our dinner table. This food should not be made. And if you make this food, if you make junk food industry grow, we have to grow more and more medicine, more and more doctor. Of course you have to, but if we fix our body, then we don't need so many medicine. Nobody wants to take medicine. Doctor doesn't want to give medicine either. Doctors want to fix yourself. And doctor will be happy not to give you medicine. It's all about we are taking care of our health or not. But the good thing is, if you fix our body with the right food, no problem, body will be cleaned again. Healthy cell will develop. Remember I explained before, if you put the right ingredient, every day right cell will develop, our brand new body will develop with disease free. Let me show you experiment. So suppose you have a unhealthy life, right? So you're having, this is not the only food we eat from. Whole food system is messed up. Eating wrong food over and over, our body, our clean body will be polluted, right? So suppose our body is fully polluted, okay? This is our body with a lot of toxins, correct? And no problem, we have a disease in here because body cannot function, you don't get the nutrient enough. So if we put back the right nutrient, if we start feeding our body with a healthy, proper, nutritious food, look at that. The time will go by, and then the toxin things will be diluted and going away from your body, and body slowly cleans, it cleans up as time goes by. Remember I said in 1 year, whole body will be transforming into a completely new body. A new body will be completely healthy, and at certain time it's going to be clean like this water, right? And our body will go back to normal, healthy, functioning system again. Just need to put back the right nutrients. And in the meantime, you've taken the medicine to control the disease, but underlying issue need to be fixed. Otherwise, you need to be in the medication for forever. I believe nobody wants it. And there's a big misconception though in our society with healthy, nutritious food. A lot of time, suppose healthy fat. Our Prophet Islam, when he used to eat, his table we had always yogurt, healthy fat, and with some good gut flora. His Islam he used to like always. Sometimes he used to like meat. He had a olive oil, pure fat, right? He had bread. He had some other food, plants, always part of his food, and dates and stuff. Suppose we have olive oil here, avocado, nuts, grass-fed meat, wild-caught fish. That's the one, our healthy fat. But when we think about eating a healthy fat, we like to always burn fat. We like to have a steak. That is the one NIH declared that it's a carcinogen. When you burn tissue, that's carcinogens. That's making the cancer. And cancer rate is almost hitting 30% death coming from cancer. Imagine half of us gonna go die heart attack or stroke. 30% gonna die with the cancer. So we don't have a guarantee to die as a regular death. We don't want that. And the data saying that if we continue eating that wrong food, in 20 years, this cancer rate is gonna go hit 48%, 48 to 49%. And we have to get the right fat instead of the wrong one. And there's a lot of research showing that how fat is important, because remember I said constant regeneration of our healthy body cell, that coming from healthy fat support, because every cell membrane made of fat. Our hormone, our vitamins, fat soluble vitamins, our brain is a 4-pound fatty organ. This made of mostly fat. Our cartilage, our major hormone that we need, that's made of fat. Especially cell membranes need a fully bilayer fatty layer. That's research showing that how fat is important. A lot of people will try to connect fat with a cardiovascular disease, but American Journal of Clinical Nutrition clearly declared that the trans fat have no connection, no relation, no evidence causing CVD or any types of heart disease. A lot of people try to claim that, and Harvard did a lot of research. Brown University did the largest research how fat cannot make a heart disease, that will help the heart disease to prevent and get rid of the heart problems with a healthy fat. And a lot of people freaked out coconut oil. Allah mentioned in the Quran, nakhla, right? Plum type fruits. So plum, nakla is a type of, coconut is a type of nakla too, plum type, and that's important. Coconut oil is a very powerful medicine. Lots of books and research is coming out how it can help with the whole body well-being. And suppose like a cacao, like a dark chocolate. Dark chocolate prevent the heart disease and cancer. The Shanghai, they studied on the thousands of cancer patients. They found out that cacao can lower the cancer carrying and lower the cancer death rate. And look at the salt. A lot of people worry about the salt. It's our human body, who we are. Our saliva, our blood, our tears have 92 minerals. That's why salt has up to 92 minerals, like a ocean water. That's what our body needs. But doctors stopped you to take salt because we are taking too much white salt. We should not take white salt too much. We should take the whole salt, which is our body constantly needed. If you don't refill with the white salt that body needs, if you don't refill our body with this whole salt, our body will be always deficient of salt, like magnesium, calcium, iron. We are get deficient and zinc, and then we get body get acidic, pain, lack of energy, and on problem will be coming up. And more research coming up with this simple, like a University of North Carolina, little like broccoli sprout. They found that it helps our body within a week. Our immune T cell, killer cell, develop 22 times more only eating a broccoli sprout. Would change our immune system and disease healing and well-being so much, as you see the data. And so we have to just eat what do you have to do? We have to just eat a whole food, everything in the right format, like plants and beans and nuts and then animal from the grass-fed field, and then wild-caught fish. That should be our food, and not the processed carb so much. And then all the spectrum you need to eat, but not processed, is the whole format. That's the ideal, not the keto, not the paleo. Get the everything, whole food, and the whole format. With the plant-based should be the most important than over other. Of course, controlling carbohydrate is always better approach for everyone, and as much you could. What else human body needs to be healthy, to be well-being and healing? You need to exercise. Our body needs a movement, it to function, it to circulate the blood, to detox, to clean the toxins. What else you need? We need to have some natural ingredient in our body to put back what is missing. Nowadays it's become very popular. Have you heard IV therapy? It become very popular, because when you eat, body absorbs the food. A lot of people have a lot of inflammation, body cannot absorb the nutrient. If you put it straight through the IV, you feel amazing. You feel nutrients replenish right away instead of waiting to absorb the body. So that food could be given as a nutrient in IV treatment wellness therapy, and it could be many, supporting the liver, supporting immune system, supporting our gut air metabolism, and improving our overall energy and fatigue. There's many purpose you can do that, as much you could, as much you have the opportunity. When you have a disease, when you go to doctor, taking the medicine, you have to take some non-invasive therapy too. We're forgetting about this non-invasive therapy. This therapy is helping body lower the inflammation, healing the underlying cause of your disease, like a hyperthermia, make your body immune system up by heating the system. And hyperbaric chamber, body struggle when your body have lack of oxygen. When you saturated oxygen in the chamber, it's so amazing when you have especially heart blockage and heart stroke patient, and patients struggling with the cancer, fighting to get back their health. For them it's very powerful. And then when you exercise, your whole body gets healed through our system, because our feet have the point for every single organ for the whole body. And then whenever you eat food, a lot of time you don't get enough nutrients because food is not good, or body doesn't have enough system to digest. Supplements is now becoming very popular. All of you know that. I know many of you take supplements. So get the supplement, whatever you're missing piece in the system. That will be helpful temporarily when you're taking medicine and trying to heal and fix yourself back to normal. And a lot of research I wanted to show that instead of taking only medicine, you look at where the disease is coming from. Suppose simple diabetes. When you have diabetes, you should take what? Doctor medicine, like a metformin or insulin, right? But if you fix the underlying cause of diabetes, why sugar is not being metabolized, why liver is not storing the enough glucogen, why you getting TG getting high, why your pancreas is not releasing enough insulin, you need to push extra insulin. If you think about that and if you fix that problem, sugar level is going to be normal. Your doctor is going to be happy that you improve your health. You don't need any medicine anymore. Primarily, diabetes coming from your sugar metabolism. A lot of Dr. Taylor is proven that how diabetes could be completely reversed through nutrition and your wellness support. And look at the data I have in here about the heart disease. When someone has a heart disease, we try to take on depending on only the pharmaceutical drug. But if you support your system, what the heart disease coming from? Why our heart cell is struggling to get enough nutrient and to functioning well? Just support that. It's mostly lack of mineral. Mostly cell is inflamed. Mostly when the blood pressure is high, your blood vessel have an injury because too much high flow. Whenever you have some high cholesterol, you're thinking that, oh, maybe I ate too much meat, that's why. Yeah, if you eat burnt meat, of course, that will make high cholesterol. But cholesterol makes by liver when your body have inflammation. So what the inflammation coming from? Coming from wrong diet, wrong sleeping schedule, a wrong life, which is stressful life, restless life. Then body is good, liver would say, okay, I have no problem. I don't need to make high cholesterol. Your body is good, you see? Then you don't have to take medicine for all life. And if you take a look on the medical research on the heart disease, Dr. Dean Ornish, he was the first starter of the food medicine on the heart disease. This doctor became very famous at the beginning when he talked about the food can heal disease completely. Look at the data I have in here. Look at the chart. He took a group of patients applying only high nutrition plant-based whole food instead of medicine. And he saw that the group of patients who are only on the plant-based whole food diet, their every disease scale got decreased. They started feeling better with the cholesterol, blood pressure, and overall heart function and homocysteine, ferritin main issues. And the patients who are taking conventional so-called diet, heart disease diet, with medicines, doctor prescribed medicine, all of them within 5 years of time, every scale of their heart disease got worse. Let me give you another data. Dr. Cardwell, he was the president of American Heart Foundation. He left his cardiology practice when he did the research in the Cleveland Medical College. In the Cleveland Medical Clinic, he showed that how with a harmless medicine and surgery, only putting on the plant-based whole food diet, how the heart blockage become unblocked. He asked his medical that give me most difficult patients in the clinic. He started with 18 patients who have 49 coronary events, and with them he applied this plant-based whole food diet. And Dr. Cardwell, he found that one of the patients he died in next few days, and because he was very old, he couldn't make it. But the other patient he saw only in 2 days, the heart completely flowing, the blockage become unblocked. But if you go to many other places, they will say, oh, heart blocks can never be reversed. That's going to make you harder. It might be, but the research showing is different. And they just are the one country famous cardiologist, and they did the research. And when someone get a cancer, we need chemotherapy, radiotherapy, of course. But if you look at where cancer is coming from, it's coming from when cell cannot function properly, it turns into cancerous cell. So why cell is losing its own property to work? Because cell become defective, lot of toxins. Cell is not getting enough raw material to regenerate. Constant regeneration getting affected when you don't put the right nutrient. The number one cancer biologist is Dr. Saifi in Boston College. He published more than 100 articles. He has proven that the many experiments, the cancer is a mitochondrial disease. It's not a genetical. If it's genetical, why cancer is now 50% adult are getting cancer, and cancer was only 3% even a few decades ago. So it's not about the genetics, it's about our lifestyle. What are you putting in? That's how causing the cell not working but transforming into the cancerous cell. And if you fix the underlying issue like insulin resistance, replenishing with a plant-based diet, supporting our body with stress and detox, and with the gut flora, lowering the inflammation, it could be much easier to fight with cancer when you're taking all the chemotherapy followed by radiotherapy. But a lot of time people cannot make it after therapy because it's too strong. So if you take care of our body, then you don't have to be such a vulnerable situation with a cancer. Why that happened with a plant-based diet? with radiotherapy and chemotherapy cannot kill that stem cell. Cell gone, but stem cell stay there. So stem cell grow back into cancer cell again in few years. But it's proven that this food list can kill the stem cell of cancer. The food lists are here. I mentioned earlier the cacao is one of them. I mentioned earlier that nuts and then colorful plants and olive oil and this green tea. Green tea is very renowned, very famous for detoxing our body. Research showing that this is done in China, how cancer rate could be decreased by putting the right nutrient and with a healthy fat, right? And this healthy body, improving the body health, is proven with all type of cancer, not only any specific one. And when you have an autoimmune disease, your doctor might tell you it's never gonna cure. You have to take medicine forever, and that's true if you don't improve our body, if you don't take care of our health. If you eliminate the root cause of your autoimmune disease like rheumatoid arthritis, fibromyalgia, kind of multiple sclerosis, your IBD, Crohn's disease, ulcerative colitis, you can name on all the lupus. Nowadays lupus is getting very common. Being professor, I see students come to me, Dr. Haque, I have a special request. I see, what is that? And I see coming with the lupus, and it's so much young generation getting lupus. And lupus is one of the worst suffering autoimmune disease. Young folks getting it. It is to be the older generation disease. And I see papers showing that students need special support because here in lupus. In fact, we started our semester last week and I saw a couple of students got lupus. And not only lupus, 25% American are suffering more than one autoimmune disease. And they need to take steroid and biological medicine forever. Root cause autoimmune disease, we can easily eliminate. So first root cause is we have to fix our diet, get the high nutrient diet. We should eliminate wrong food, put back the right food, fix your form, what you're putting in the system, in the body. You just need to change our mind, just need to shop the right food. We are blessed in citizen of the United States. We have everything around you. Just need to find it, brother. Believe me, I grew up in Bangladesh. When I go there, yeah, I see some things more available than here. I don't get that varieties. There is no idea of the bean, eating the bean in a back home. We have more than 100 of bean, and bean is proven anti-cancerous. It's a cancer bomb. I'm just giving one example. A lot more examples you know that. How varieties of the food that we have. So I will give you some example. Like when you have a breakfast, you have try to get a healthy one. When you get lunch, get a healthy lunch bowl. See how bowl should look like. What our wrong food should look like. Get a lots of color. Let's say whole format, not the processed and someone made for you. Processed it, don't touch it. Look at, let's trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because Allah created us, He gives food for us. We're trying to get something fry and processed and burn and packaged, stuff like that. That's how our parents ate. My grandma died almost age of 100, and I saw she had no disease I can think of except before that I saw she got constipated. That's the only disease. Constipation is not even disease. That's the only thing I saw. And now I realize what she used to eat. She used to eat that everything fresh food. Nothing processed and fried and packaged and dyed and burned and colored, I'm going to show you some example how improving health, how people can come back to perfect health. Chase is my patient a year ago. When he came to me, he couldn't walk. Doctor said you can never walk in your life because kidney failure. And then I looked at his body. He's a young man. Why kidney eGFR is so low? High blood pressure. He taking couple of medicine for high blood pressure. I fixed his mineral because he stopped all kind of salt. You need 92 salt. That's how Allah made our system. We need to constantly refill. Right? Our body has 66% water. 2/3 our body is water, right? Imagine we don't drink water at all. Just imagine. That happened. A lot of people stop eating all kind of salt. Doctor did not tell him to stop all salt. Maybe white salt, which is very aggressive, only 2 salt. We need that white salt too. But if we get a whole salt, black salt, rock salt, pink salt, or Celtic salt, they have almost 90 minerals. That's our body constantly needed. And then I fixed his nutrition. I fixed his emotion. I fixed his lot of inflammation going on. I put him supplement which is made of kidney, made of heart cell to grow back his heart and keep normal. And within 3 months, he became such a normal, blood pressure constantly normal. He can walk and run. Look at his interview. I have 3 interviews he gave it to me. How he's doing, how he was doing before. It's in the social media. He shared his experience. He told me he go to every city every week to go hiking and biking and kayaking. Isn't it so amazing? So Fabiola have a serious story. Our kids wrong diagnosed a lot of time. He was diagnosed with a cancer, and then he flew from his city to Houston to get a children's hospital. It's very famous. With a side effect of chemo, he got heart failure, and they found out that his tumor is not malignant, benign tumor, but he was given high dose chemo, and then his heart failed. And then they came to me. In 3 days, he started moving. His heart again improving. But he improved, but he didn't make it life. And a lot of times kids get misdiagnosed. Someone go like this kind of situation, we cannot help that much. I have examples like this too. But with the heart failure, his blood pressure became normal, heart started functioning, but with the other damage, he couldn't make. So make sure to be careful when kids get diagnosed something like that a lot of time. This girl have a hormone issue is very common, which men don't know about that. 90% of our female patients have a hormone issue, and these girls came with a continuous bleeding and after running from so many year incident, and then that fixing her diet, putting the hormone balance, she became normal. It's a long story. You can hear that story in the social media. Her name is Joy. And like autoimmune patient become whitening face and other autoimmune disease. We thought it would never be cured. Look at showing his previous picture and his current face. You see, how could we change in just about 2 months? Whole vitiligo is gone. So autoimmune disease could be controlled when you're taking steroid and biological drug. At the same time, you fix your organ working. Then type of autoimmune you struggle should be improved and should be completely normal when you have fixed your underlying issue with a natural non-invasive therapy, right supplement, and with a fixing your diet and fixing the emotions. I want to share you one more story. She was stage 4 cancer. All the story, I have the detailed story in the social media, how their life was. Doctor said you can survive only for 2 weeks. That's she can. But in 8 months with her chemo and she came to my clinic by support of my all integrative approach, she became cancer free. This is another story of chase. Like this brother came with a heart attack. Doctor said you have to get surgery, but if you leave the hospital you'll die. You have to stay in the ambulance. But this is a very tragic story. I didn't want to take him to my clinic, but he was very adamant. He said, "No, I need your treatment. I don't want to go for surgery." With a high dose of insulin, his sugar not being controlled and blood pressure never being controlled in the hospital. Like in 3 days, watch her story. Like in 3 days, with fixing the minerals and inflammatory conditions and then supporting health and sugar metabolizing, in 3 days, he said that, listen to his story, it's in the social media, his blood sugar, in 3 days, blood sugar and blood pressure become normal. I have many stories. Some people become old, say, oh, she's too old, she cannot improve. She's 87 years old. She's a Muslim lady. When she came to me, she was in bed. She couldn't even sit down. And with support of integrative approach, next time she came to the clinic with a walking. She walked to the clinic. That's how we can improve. Like suppose IBS patient. IBS patients, more than 15% American are suffering with IBS. Whenever you have IBS, your brain, your energy, everything got messed up. And IBS is easily fixable. It doesn't have any diagnosis. Just cannot hold your bowel. Just go to bathroom frequently. That could be improved only by fixing your gut, fixing your nutrient. I'm ending my talk. So what do you need? You need to go to doctor for every disease. Continue taking medicine. That's what you're supposed to do. In parallel, fix your diet. Put the right supplement that you need to support the organ is underworking. And avoid all the inflammatory food that's causing your issues and stopping your body function. And then a lot of therapy. In Dallas, my patient in Dallas, I see, they go to many clinics. They have a lot of regenerative therapies, like an IV drip that improve your health. Your doctor will say, you're working fine. I saw many patients supporting IV therapy, supporting right nutrient, proper supplement system, and with someone has a serious disease. While you're taking medicine, then support your body with like hyperthermia, hyperbaric chamber. These things like acupuncture, very powerful. With a comprehensive approach, you can get rid of any health issue. And watch my videos. I cannot talk on every disease, everything in a one talk, of course you understand. If you watch my videos in disease based and see how patient can improve, you'll be more motivated to put nutrients back in your system to get your perfect health back. And believe me, any condition you can improve if you think about that our body constantly being regenerated. You just need to put right ingredient. Following Sunnah as well as modern science, how it's revealing how food can change our body and improve the health conditions when you're suffering with a health issue. In primarily, so combined you need not only pill, wellness as well as treatment together you can get back your health. So I'd be happy to answer any question you have. So brother asking that multivitamin many of us take, and then sometimes they're taking a lot of colorful big number of pills. Human body need vitamin for sure, there's no question about it. And vitamins are two types, one fat soluble, one is water soluble. So and everything should come from the food, but when body is deficient and constantly being deficient, that causing the disease, because underworking organ is the primary cause of developing disease on that specific organ that underworking. Now question is which vitamin and how many vitamins we can take. So fat soluble vitamin, you take lots of vitamin C or lots of vitamin B's, is gonna tomorrow you will not have them, because end of the day you pee out extra vitamin which is water soluble. But the fat soluble you take today, it is stored to your body for a long time. So that's why you can try to take vitamin D from sunlight support, and vitamin K, vitamin E, vitamin D and vitamin A. Fat soluble, you should make sure you have enough healthy fat. The problem is that when you're taking vitamins regular basis, your body will forget that body need to absorb vitamin from the food, not in a supplemented format. So if you're deficient really for long term, yes, you should take vitamin, all types of vitamins temporarily. I give my patient for 1 month, 2 months, not more than that. And after that, vitamin D and K only need to continue for a long time, because D deficiency doesn't get filled up over time. It takes months, sometimes take years to get back to D and K level. And vitamin E, someone is really stressful person, feel always anxious, stressed all the time, you need to take vitamin E as well for a long time. We should be careful that vitamin C and other vitamins mostly coming from synthetic format. I see a lot of patients taking vitamin D for years and they come with the vitamin D with 15. Why? Because they're taking vitamin D or other vitamin in a synthetic format. Like 95% vitamin C are being produced from the oil, from the mobile, petroleum. How come petroleum has a vitamin C? A lot of vitamin C producing from other non-vitamin C sources. And there's a data showing that 95% vitamin you have in the market right now are not true vitamin. 95%. There is a group of doctors, scientists did the study, surveyed the market, and found out that those vitamins are not the vitamin, it's a synthetic sources. So you have to be very careful with that. And a lot of information coming to me that, oh, I take vitamin and my pee become a red or black, and sometimes even blood. So those toxic vitamins we are taking. So which vitamin you should take? If you have a lot of infection, vitamin C. You take for a few months. If your stress, until your stress fully gone, you can take vitamin E. Also, if you are very weak, if vitamin D are below 30, even below 50, you should take vitamin D. And vitamin D should be taken with a vitamin K2. So D3 and K2 should be taken together for a while. Some people need to take for years. And I do give my patients too, because they are constantly deficient. They are deficient vitamin D for a long time, because vitamin D is a hormone you need for many functions. You need to have a healthy fat, get sunlight. So healthy fat, cholesterol convert into vitamin D, you need to give that support too. Suppose vitamin E, for example. Vitamin D have a more than 8 types are discovered. Maybe more than 8,000 times. We don't know how Allah created. We just know some science showing that vitamin D are more than 8 types. When you're taking synthetic vitamin E or any form of vitamin D, even natural vitamin E, you're getting only one type. It's very hard to get comprehensive all type of vitamin E together. So taking vitamin supplement format is never be equal what is the true food sources, and should not be taken for a long time, because let body make its own. Again, summary is only vitamin D, K you need to take longer time. That's what I do. And vitamin C until you feel you have no infection in the body. Other than that, vitamin C is not the main supplement you should take. You should mostly take supplement to the supporting the organ which is underworking. Nowadays, every organ support supplement are created or made. You should take them to support the organ. So what organ-based disease you are going through. I hope you get the answer, right? Brother asking that fried is bad, but what if we fry with the healthy food, right? Not with a conventional synthetic oil, which is not even oil, We see vegetable oil, they're not actually oil, they're like synthetic oil, There's no vegetable in there, Nothing made of vegetables. Vegetable cannot have that much oil that in a cheap format. Anyway, if you're burning, that is the main problem, not what you're burning. Yes, if you're burning the tissue, especially meat, that causing the cancer, class 1 cancer carcinogens are burn tissue. HCA is the primary heterocyclic amine. The primary carcinogens develop when you burn the tissue, and HSCA. Any food you burn, it defects the structure. Structure get twisted or burned or changed. Body cannot process that burned food or change deformed structure when you eat. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not create any organ, any enzyme to digest that food. Yeah, it processing, you get constipated. It processing give you a calorie or making a more fat cell. It making a more liver clogged than ever. So it seems like it's processing, but it's not being processed. So food has to be right format. It should be cooked slowly or not too high. But olive oil fry is another problem. Olive oil is a unsaturated. It becomes saturated with adding extra. Anyone is science student, adding extra H with a double bond, it becomes saturated. When you rather say yes. So it becomes saturated structure when you burn olive oil because extra hydrogen comes in. So you don't have to burn olive oil. Olive oil should be added always with food when you start cooking, or after cooking you should add. I guess you asked the question. We have to go back to Sunnah and Quran, subhanAllah, Islam is a religion forever, right? It's for the humanity, Any oil is good. If there is an oil truly made of vegetable oil, I will take that at the first hand. But vegetable cannot produce oil so much. Whole story is full of tons of vegetable oil. That's not possible. So every oil is good. But we don't have vegetable oil exist. The one in vegetable oil they're calling is wrong. It's not made of vegetable. The one made of olive oil, that's mostly wrong too. Unless true 100% extra virgin olive oil. If this is the name, they have to follow the protocol truly made of olive oil because they're 100% extra virgin. And coconut oil is very hard to make wrong coconut oil because the market coconut oil are mostly good. Most of them are good because you cannot make fake coconut oil. But of course, organic will make a little bit better. The centrifugal is the best one, is a medicinal format. When you make coconut oil centrifugally, that comes only medicinal format. That's you can take for your brain. Someone have a brain underworking, dementia, forgetting, and all kind of inflammatory brain issue, anxiety, and all kind of epilepsy and seizure. Those kind of very much helpful, And so coconut oil is the best for everything. Olive oil is a part of Sunnah. Why not? Always you to have olive oil in the part of your meal. Yes. Remember, the peanut we have in the market is a GMO. We don't have a pure peanut much. Most of the nuts are good, by the way, but only one nut is a problem. Peanut. It has aflatoxin, so that because of GMO. So we don't want to take too much peanut oil, but little bit peanut oil, little bit peanut is not a problem. When my patient come to me, what nuts? I said all nuts is good, but less peanut. If you get a pure peanuts from without GMO, they should not be limited. Should not be consumed limit as much you can. Of course, it's great. Yes. Sister is asking if you have anxious and worried and so much stress, vitamin E helps. So sister asking how much vitamin E we can consume or what is the doses. Not only vitamin E, any vitamin you're taking, we have to make sure that it's from right sources. There are a couple of companies. If you look at in my website, I mentioned 4 companies. They do medically corroborated and their own organic farm based their raw material making vitamins. Those you can trust. So otherwise, someone made in your backyard, getting some raw material, you do not trust them for your own body, right? So with a proper company, only one in the morning, 300 milligram up to 600 milligram per day. So usually they are made 3 to 600 milligram. So you can take one in the morning, one in the evening, and not more than 1000 per day. That will be the dose. Yes. How many of you think we need protein, extra protein intake? How many of you think we need to take protein shake or extra protein powder? Raise your hand, please. Why not? Everyone take protein. Everyone is crazy about the protein. If you go to a health food store, you see a lot of protein powder and box and peel and then shake, and then so many brands, so beautifully designed their covered, levels and stuff. Why not? Everything has a protein. Whatever food you think, that has to have a protein, because no living cell, either any biologically active, any living things, has to have protein in their cell structure. It could be a leaf of spinach, it could be a fish or chicken, but unfortunately by mistake we thought that we need a lot of protein. So take extra protein, take extra shake, take extra some chicken. That's causing all the indigestion and bloating and gastritis issues. What is the solution? Solution is never think about taking extra protein. You might think that, oh, don't you need protein? I said every day 20 billion cells develop in our body every day. Same amount of cell is dying off. And cell starter, the beginner of the cell is the protein. You see how important the protein is? Of course you need. But extra protein causing the indigestion. But protein is everywhere. Plant has more protein than chicken. Yes, some food doesn't have protein. Nuts and oils have almost no protein. Of course, yes, that's true. But we eat egg, white part, we eat lots of plant, we eat lots of grain food. Everywhere have a protein. So protein should not be taken as an extra supplement, as an extra powder, as an extra shake. That's going to cause long-term absorption problem, lack of acid, making a gastritis problem, and the many issues. Protein should be always generous, not extra. And protein is everywhere. You have to make sure that you're taking enough plant. You have to make sure you have enough healthy fat in your meal. That should be a focus. Enough healthy plant-based food would have enough an amount, more than enough protein that you need for the day to survive. But if you supplement extra, that is always going to be extra for you. Any oil is good. Mustard mentioned in the Quran too. Why not? Of course, I grew up whole life mustard oil, unless maybe I began 9th or 10th grade. Then I see nice color, sunshine, soybean oil came. This soybean and vegetable oil came. Then we started learning the disease name. We didn't hear the heart disease until I became 8th grade. I remember clearly. On 8th grade, I saw in a paper someone died in a heart disease. Bangla is called Hridrog. I was like, what is the disease about? Now I know. That time we started having this oil. So mustard oil is a great. Any oil is great. Again, first of all, of course, sunnah, processed olive oil, we'll respect that. Nakhla, plum and coconut Allah mentioned in the Quran, we'll respect that more than over others. But any peanut oil, peanut is a nakhla too. So any oil, mustard oil, love that too. Mustard oil is so powerful. It cleans the lumps and bumps and underworking everything inside. It goes straight to the body and then penetrate to the body and clean, any clog going on, Of course it's powerful. But the oil in the market, mustard oil we have in the desi store, that's not the mustard oil, by the way. That's a synthetically made, So I personally love mustard oil. I know one of my patients in Dallas, what they do, they bought a machine from Amazon, 500 bucks. They make all the peanuts, they buy peanut, all the nuts. They make oil from the nuts, they make oil from the mustard. Boom, that's a great way to do. And I personally, I do not get enough time. I wish I can make it. Someone coming from Bangladesh, what I can bring for you? Mustard oil. Because back home is allowed, right? Back home is mustard oil selling. But this country, you don't make mustard oil. There is a law against the mustard oil so it's a meat though. So I have mustard oil originally, made from the mustard, by the way. Mustard oil doesn't need a heat press though. Mustard oil, anybody can make cold press. Mustard oil generally comes with a cold press, But coconut oil needs heat. That's why coconut oil, we should be careful, not cold press, not regular, make a cold press one. Mustard oil cannot be non-cold press because it comes oil right away when you start small machine. Yes, brother saying that cereals should be avoided. I mentioned in the PowerPoint slide. And what could be alternative, right? First of all, I'm not against of any food. You can take any food, cereals, waffle, muffin, cake, pastry, singara, samosa, you can pizza, pasta, spaghetti, whatever you like, take everything. But what are you making it from? If you're making from wheat, that comes with the gluten, makes all joint pain, making a bloating and indigestion and long run autoimmune disease. The unofficial data showing that 50% American are gluten allergic, but officially 7 to 8% people are gluten sensitive. Unofficially 50%. Someone have a disease, someone have an autoimmune or major issue, they are 100% almost gluten sensitive. That's what the data showing. So now the point is, what should be done? Everything is gluten made cereal. Actually, we are changing. We are changing ourselves. Market is changing too. In the market nowadays, lots of products non-wheat cereal. For instance, rice made cereal, cereal made of nuts, cereal made of chocolate, cereal made of lentil. So we can see lots of other options. So that should be your good bet for cereal. So no food is wrong. If you want a sandwich nowadays, a lot of students make a gluten-free sandwich bread too. A lot of people, students have a plant-based food, beyond meat. A lot of things available. You just need to find the right ingredient food. I see a lot of pizzas to have a gluten-free pizza. Are you making your food? That's more important than labeling that this food is bad. No food is bad. Ingredient is the key making food edible or not edible. Yes, if you see the Texas map on the cancer rate is the number 1. And when I came to Texas in 2014, I was shocked. Eating like bird meat, like barbecue is like a fashion everywhere. Everyone's backyard I see, wow, big barbecue machine, You know why, right? And I declared that this burn tissue is the carcinogens. So yes, barbecue is your worst food ever you can think of eating. So be very, very careful with that. It's so much matching, how highest cancer rate in Texas and highest barbecue eating and how NIH declared that. So it's very much matching. Yes, sister. So barbecue should be avoided. Base 2 is eating with oil and water and lots of spice. I have a culture, don't take spice. A lot of patients come to me, oh, I know why I have a gastritis because I used to take a lot of spice. No, it's not. Spice makes your stomach better, rebuild your gut layer. I personally take 20 chili every meal I can take. I don't take 20 all the time, but at least 10 I eat. 20 very hot chili. My wife is in the back. You can ask her how many chili I eat every morning. How many chili I eat every meal. So if it's good, I am going to the 10. Otherwise, sometimes I eat 20. Recently, I ate 22 by the way. Maybe yesterday I ate 20. So that's powerful spices. So you have to cook meat with oil and spice and everything together, Barbecue, oven, baked, not the best option, but it's okay sometimes. Yes, sister, if you're asking like overall how food pattern is supposed to be, let me answer you different way. Maybe that's what you're asking. If I answer your question, what you're asking exactly, it's going to make a lot of confusion, If we go back to our ancestors or previous generation people or people living in Dallas area 100 years ago or even 50 years ago, we didn't have fridge. 70 years ago, we didn't have fridge in Dallas. We didn't have the oven. We didn't have a lot of people even didn't have a cooking system. They ate raw and then stuff like that and burned somehow and then ate. What I mean that if you don't have a fridge, what are you gonna eat in the morning? Nothing. You go and get food and eat. It will take time. Start eating your first meal. What happening us? Wake up in the morning and then start eating cereal. That's the worst thing you can do. Do a little bit fasting. Sunnah. Prophet used to eat once in a meal, and Islam sometimes eat here and there, this and that. But morning, breakfast, lunch, dinner, a couple of snacks in the middle, that was not the idea of the human history, not even Sunnah either. Where it coming from? That fridge culture. So that's the availability of the food, I saw how much freaked out parents are when the kids not having their couple of 4 or 5 meals a day. Why not? My son is not eating. They're running after their kids. Eat. Me and my wife never force them to eat, Whole day fast and good if they're fasting today. We are busy, they're fasting. Awesome, They want to go somewhere. The other people force us. Your son is not eating. I said, okay, thank you for telling that. I'm not worried about that. It's you. What I mean that morning you should be fasting. But if you cannot fast, get a healthy fat. Healthy fat means egg yolk, nuts, avocado, like a dark chocolate. That's a pure fat, 100% fat. Fasting time, healthy fat would be very good for you. Body start developing the ketosis, healing mood, So instead of egg white you can eat full egg, you can eat at the lunch or dinner. The time nowadays, so many meals we eating, I know nobody can think of not eating dinner, that's culture. We cannot change everything right away. But what we could do is, at least dinner time, as sister mentioned, trying to eat some rice, put your rice at the lunch time. So body will burn this calorie from the rice. Because rice calorie making you sugar metabolism in the system. So sugar metabolism making a lot of byproduct. That's not healthy metabolism. So get your sugar food, which is rice, at the lunch. So your body will be happy, have a good sleep. Dinner time, try to get more plant, try to get some fish, try to get some egg, no problem. And lunchtime, have some what we call balanced diet, only lunch, not the 3 balanced diet, that's going to be causing you the disease. Lunchtime, you can have some carb, some protein, some bean, some fish, and then if you like meat, of course meat should be limited, because, and I said that 8 ounces per week, and I don't think anyone follow that. 8 ounces per meal. Now you know why, everyone has to die in hospital bed, right? Clear, right? So that's lunch, you have to be complete meal, and dinner light with a plant-based, some healthy fat, and morning only fat. If you can maintain that, inshallah, our Muslim brothers and sisters are gonna be like the Rasul said, "Al-mu'minu qayyum ahabbu ila Allah." So we'll be stronger believer and beloved to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, inshallah. Let me answer you easy one. All GMO food are bad. Little bit GMO food taking for short term, once in a while, body can handle that. But what happening? Most of the food we eating GMO. That's the problem. So temporarily, some GMO would not be issue. We can do as much you could. Second thing is, patient like schizophrenia or bipolar disorder patients, you gotta be careful depending on the medicine for whole life. Try to improve health by helping healthy brain regeneration. And healthy brain regeneration need a mineral balance, healthy fat intake. With a regenerative therapy, there are a lot of therapy like NAD therapy. It helps to regrow the brain, lower the brain inflammation. Ozone therapy is very powerful to improve the brain signal in the system. So a lot of regenerative therapy is very much effective. Those diseases, you can take a look. And of course, make sure my discussion, my talk should not be substitute of your medical advice. If you continue that, and in parallel, you should improve your health by food, nutrition, lifestyle change improvement, and then regenerative therapy and nutritional drip and stuff. Drinking coffee is good for many people, it depending on the health. If someone have a major digestive disorder, they are struggling to absorb the mineral. For those people, is very vulnerable when they get addicted to the coffee. Otherwise, someone have no digestive problem, no problem to take coffee at least once in a day. Before workout, you try to stay hydrated, and hydration key is the mineral, and mineral is the one helps body to absorb the water. So for the healthy functioning, you need to get water, get a high mineral, but coffee do other way. Coffee flush out mineral from the body. So take coffee different time than exercise. Maybe after workout, you get some whole salt, you mineralize. After 1-2 hours, get coffee, no problem. Jazakallah khair. That's all I believe. Inshallah, we'll answer question next time if you can get opportunity to talk to you again. And Jazakumullah khair everyone for listening and inviting me. This is a very great opportunity for me to meet you all, and my pleasure that I was able to help you. Thank you so much.
I was diagnosed with stage 4 of non-small cell lung cancer about 2 years ago. It's a cancer that has only 5% survival. Now, thank God, I'm cancer free.
So I had an inflamed prostate, and I went to my urologist.
Okay.
And they recommended I take a tablet called finasteride. So I did take it. It didn't work. I tried to stop taking it, but then my urologist told me that was something I would have to take the rest of my life, and made me concerned about that as well. So I didn't want to have to continue taking something for the rest of my life if I didn't have to. So I brought that issue to you, and you helped me out.
Wherever you are, how busy you are, no matter what, take some time for you. Take a minute to relax, to comfort your body, to heal your body from the whole day, your busyness and stress. Come to the nature. Believe me, every natural green and herbs and trees and leaves have a healing power. You're struggling with a health issue, wake up in the morning. Put yourself in the ground for 30 minutes. It is going to be for medicine, for whole day, for rejuvenation, calming you down, balance your hormone, to control your anxiety and stress, and to have a healthy, wonderful day. One healthy day, give you a healthy night. Good sleep. Sleep and healthy activities, both are like in a circle. One comes after other. That's how you get a healthy life, right? So thank you. Stay well. I hope you're all doing well. I'll see you soon, okay?